It was a stormy night in the quiet suburbs of Birmingham. Julia, a 50-year-old single mother, had just finished cleaning up the kitchen. Her 20-year-old son, Ryan, was home for the holidays from university. The two hadn't spent much time together lately, and Julia often found herself missing the little boy who used to cling to her side. At around 1 a.m., as rain lashed against the windows, Julia heard a soft knock at her bedroom door. It opened slowly, and there stood Ryan, looking restless and troubled. "Can I talk to you, Mum?" he asked. Julia nodded and moved aside, letting him in. "Everything all right?" Ryan sat on the edge of her bed, hesitating. His voice trembled. "I know this might sound strange, but tonight, I felt like I had no one else to talk to. I feel lost, Mum. Alone." Julia's heart sank. She had always suspected Ryan was hiding something, but never pressed him. "You can always talk to me, no matter what." "I've been battling things in my mind," he whispered. "Stuff I don't even understand." As the clock ticked past 2 a.m., the storm outside raged louder. But inside that room, a different kind of storm was brewing, the kind made of buried emotions, years of silence, and wounds unhealed. Ryan confessed that he'd struggled with depression, loneliness, and guilt, that he felt broken. Julia embraced him, tears in her eyes. "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" "I was afraid you'd see me differently." But she didn't. She saw the same little boy who used to fall asleep in her arms, the boy who had grown into a man carrying silent pain. That night, mother and son didn't sleep. They talked. They cried. They healed. By sunrise, a new bond had formed, one built on truth, vulnerability, and unconditional love. Julia realized that the scariest thing about being a parent wasn't losing control, it was losing connection. The real story wasn't about what he did that night, it was about what he said. And how those words saved both their lives. The storm outside faded as the first rays of morning sun peeked through the blinds. Julia sat quietly beside Ryan, her mind heavy with everything he had shared. Her son, the boy she raised, fed, protected, had been living with such emotional torment, and she never even knew. Ryan had fallen asleep sometime after 4 a.m., still wrapped in the blanket of his mother's arms. Julia stayed awake, holding him like she used to when he was little, her fingers gently brushing through his hair. She made a silent promise to herself. She would never let him suffer alone again. When he stirred and opened his eyes, there was a strange peace on his face. "I slept, Mum, properly for the first time in months." Julia smiled through tired eyes. "That's all I ever wanted for you. Peace." They went downstairs together. She made him tea while he sat at the table, watching her the way he used to as a child. The moment felt simple, yet profound. "You know," Ryan said, "last night wasn't just about telling you how I felt. It was also about asking for help before I do something stupid." Julia froze. "What do you mean?" He looked down. "I thought about ending everything. I had it all planned. I just needed someone to stop me. And you did." Tears welled up in her eyes, and she rushed to his side, hugging him tight. "No, Ryan. No more silence. No more pretending. We're going to face everything together." That morning, they made a decision. Ryan would see a therapist. Julia would take time off work to be more present. They both agreed to build their bond back. No more distance, no more unspoken pain. Days turned into weeks, and the transformation was slow but steady. Ryan smiled more. Julia slept better. They talked every night, even if just about simple things. One evening, as they sat on the porch watching the stars, Ryan turned to her. "Mum, you didn't just save me. You reminded me who I am." She held his hand and whispered, "And you reminded me what it means to be a mother." Ending line for YouTube narration. Sometimes, the deepest moments happen not in the daylight, but in the quiet, stormy nights when two broken hearts finally speak.